Today, Tesla was up over 6%, and we saw $32 million worth of confirmed flow come through on Tesla, and also an Alpha Gold alert, which is one of the strongest bullish unusual options activity alerts that you can get, also hit at 1:06 p.m. today. Now we have delivery numbers, so it should be coming out tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. before the market opens. And we're going to go over what I think is going to happen with those numbers, where that's going to send Tesla. And we're going to also go over my positions, which I ended up closing out both of them today. The first ones were July calls, and I also had September calls. And what I did was I closed them out, and we're going to go over why I therefore opened another position on Tesla, this time for 210 calls expiring in September. Now, to catch anyone up to speed that has not been watching any of our content for the past couple of weeks, we've been watching Tesla to potentially break above $190. We've seen a ton of bullish accumulation here on the BX trender. As you can see, it's indicated with higher highs. And from there, we've also seen a ton of unusual options activity, close to $400 million worth of flow that we've been posting and talking about. And when you see that type of accumulation of bullish positions, as we're moving into a resistance level, there is a very good chance that we're going to see a massive breakout. Now, what has to happen in order for this breakout to continue is we need fundamentals to now follow through. I've been posting over on my X account for the past couple of months about how the sentiment for Tesla is going to change. For the past couple of months, the media has done absolutely nothing but talked about how much of a dog Tesla is, and so many people are still looking at Tesla as if it's just a car company. They're still worried about gross margins on the vehicles, worried about price drops, and not understanding that Tesla is moving away from that and moving into a SaaS model, or a software as a service model. And on top of that, not even looking at revenue, just the fact that the company now is, I think, one of the most undervalued AI plays next to NVIDIA over the past year, and also that it is a robotics company. And so I think that we're seeing the momentum shift, and we're seeing in real time big money buying up a ton of positions. I even posted today about that old $203 million order that came through on June 20th. That was the first big video that we talked about unusual buying in. And from that point, they paid $16.37 for those calls, and now they're worth $31.80. So that is a 100% return. That person made $203 million in profits in 11 days, and they are still holding their calls. Now, if they're still holding their calls and we have delivery numbers coming up, then that's a pretty good sign that big money thinks that their delivery numbers are either not going to affect the stock much, maybe pull it back down to 200 in the short term, and they're banking on earnings, which are coming up very soon. And then we also have the third catalyst here, which is going to be the robotaxi event happening in August. And this is how I think we could see this play out. I'm not too worried about delivery numbers. I think that short term, with how much Tesla's been breaking out, that there is a chance that this could be a short term high and we could pull back to maybe 192 or 188. And that's why I ended up closing out my profits today on my September calls. I ended up closing them out for a very nice 36% profit, $49,000, which was great. And I rolled that position now into the same exact date, 9/20. But instead of 200, I'm going to $210. You can also notice too that the position size is smaller. My initial position size on this was $136,000, which is definitely a sizable position, but relative to even my profits this year, it's not that much. And you guys know that what I've been focusing on is taking my profits off the table. I initially started with $50,000, grew that to $160,000 just in my Tesla positions. And what I've been doing now is taking all of that money off the top and then reinvesting the principal, which is now $100,000, into another trade. And you can see that if we just isolate Tesla and our realized profits just year to date, we're at almost $417,000, which almost all of it has just been within the past 3 months. So at this point, I'm still holding a $100,000 position. That is only 1/4 of just my returns on Tesla this year to date. So relative to my overall returns, it's not that crazy. So I'm going to continue to hold this trade, and I think that we're going to see Tesla over the next couple of months, even with a potential pullback down to 200, trading at 240, 250, and 260. And right now, I'm carrying a delta of about 2,845. So if Tesla were to push $37, that would be a $105,000 return, or a 100% return on my investment if I held that position up to that price target. So I'm still looking at being able to make another $100,000 off of that trade. And even if this goes bust and Tesla completely craters, then I'm only going to lose 25% of my profit year to date on the stock. And I do not think that that's going to happen. I do think that we are going to see Tesla continue to push up to 240. Deliveries could be but I think that earnings is going to be great. I think that guidance is going to be great. I think that Elon's optimism and outlook on that earnings call is going to be great. And I also believe now that big money and Wall Street are starting to buy in and understand the fact that this is now an extremely, extremely undervalued AI and robotics play for the next year. And I truly believe Nvidia is kind of passing the baton here. I mean, it seems like retail is still buying into Nvidia, but we're seeing with the BX trender so far that we're getting weakness. We're getting a top. And last time this occurred, we saw Nvidia pull back 18%. And of course, from there, big money bought the dip. But at this point, it seems like they're taking money out of Nvidia and rotating it into things like Tesla. I also think a lot of the Dow components are going to do really well. I think that energy is going to do really well over the next couple of weeks. But ultimately, I think that Tesla is going to be the biggest play of the summer. Let me know what you guys think. Comment down below. As always, you can get access to all of our free courses. The links are in the description. We have courses going over technical analysis, how to become a disciplined trader and understand risk management, my exact indicators that I use for my strategy, and also how you can learn to trade options in the most simple and profitable manner. All of those courses are completely free with the link below. Thanks for all the support, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.